Hello, my name is Enoch. I'm with Reanimator. Oh, no! Coalition for Human Survival. Today we're going to talk about how to make a messenger bag from recycled materials. We're going to talk about the design process. We are going to talk about how to create a three-dimensional prototype of your bag. And along the way, we're going to learn a little bit about where you can get materials, what kind of trash makes a good bag material, how to put it all together, and some other random stuff that I don't remember right now, but we'll get there. I hope you learned something from this. This is taking me a few months to piece together, so understand that as the video develops, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And yeah, talk to you in a little bit. See you on the other side. All right, let's talk about bag design first. Most bag manufacturers, specifically for messenger bags, use a one-piece construction. One-piece construction is really helpful if you're trying to mass produce a bag and minimize seams, which, if paired with the right material, can greatly increase the water resistance of your bag. This particular type of bag construction is designed around using large rolls of material. You simply stretch it out over a table, trace your pattern, and then start sewing. Multiple piece construction is another way of making a bag. It uses smaller pieces of materials, has more seams, and is more of a complicated pattern to design. The benefits include having a more three-dimensional form and the ability to use smaller, more diverse pieces of materials. I like to use a mixture of both in my bags, depending on my material sources and depending on what I'm trying to make. It's important in the design process to think about the bag and the intended usage and where on the bag makes the most sense to apply the materials that you currently have. For example, for the messenger bag, I like to see the outer flap or the closure system being one large piece if I can help it, because it's front facing, exposed to the elements, and I want to keep this piece as durable as possible. Underneath the flap, I can then collage smaller pieces of material because it's going to be exposed to less abrasion. I like to start with a little doodle of what I'm looking for in a bag. This is a great opportunity to dream and truly think about the purpose and intended use of what you're trying to make. Hey, at this point, I encourage you not to be discouraged if you don't know how to make a two-dimensional drawing into a three-dimensional form yet. That's going to be in the next step, prototyping. And I really encourage you to continue to just put your ideas on that paper, no matter how goofy it is, and trust in the process that moving in the next step, you're going to be able to turn it into something that works. Alright, so gather your materials for the pattern. I particularly enjoy using malt bags from local breweries. It keeps them out of the landfill. It's a wonderful, wonderful waterproof material, and it's blank on the inside, so you can mark it pretty easily. I'll be making today's pattern out of this material, but I want to show you what you can do if you don't have access to this resource. For the longest time, I was using paper and other found materials, collaging them into a larger piece of material, like a quilt, and then tracing the pattern onto that. Now remember, you are only limited by your imagination. If the material can be drawn on and thrown through a sewing machine, why not try it out? You've got nothing to lose, and especially considering the amount of garbage that is just present on this planet right now, you've got tons to work with. I'll be designing the front flap first, utilizing that one-piece construction method to wrap it around to the back side of the bag. Alright, so check this out. Say I'm not satisfied with the way that this bag prototype is coming out right now. I really want to make this side panel just a little bit thinner. What I'm going to do is take my Sharpie, draw a little bit of a line, cut up this material, and re-sew. And there, I've dynamically modified the pattern in real time. The next thing we're going to talk about is materials. Take a look around your house and find the materials that you're willing to transform into this bag. It's really important to think about the physical characteristics of these materials that you have available to you. Are they breathable? Are they waterproof? Do the physical characteristics of the current materials work well with the product that you're trying to make? Compromise is the name of the game, especially when you're working with trash. At what point do you sacrifice your original vision and acknowledge that you are working with materials that are not designed to be sewn or used in this manner? It's important to stay focused on your goal, but also give yourself a little bit of wiggle room and say, hey, you're doing the best that you can. Just go for it. Do the thing. You're doing great. Another thing that I want to mention is it's really important to make connections with the people in your neighborhood, in your community. A lot of folks have access to resources that you might not be aware of. And so going out, meeting your neighbors, talking to local business owners and saying, hey, this is what I'm trying to make. Do you know of any waste resources around here that could be transformed into this idea? And most of the time, people are really happy to help and eager to see others transforming waste. So it's a win-win situation, to be quite honest. The preparation of each material differs. In this context, I'm making some books. And I'm using paper from a bag of rolled oats. Whenever I'm working with plastics that I find on the side of the road or from a dumpster or that are seconds from a manufacturing process, what I usually do is clean them by hand and then dilute bleach solution to get it all sanitized as good as possible, and then let it air dry. Then I implement that into what I'm trying to make. Whenever I'm cleaning materials with a fabric-like construction, I usually just throw them in an industrial washing machine with soap and water, and that usually sanitizes it once it's been dried as well. So there you have it, how to not only design a bag, but how to create a dynamic 3D pattern, and also how to source and clean materials. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you learned a little bit about something. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out on the website. And yeah, hope to see what you make. Take care.